So here we are again, Neil, back in the Birdog Tavern, sweating our tits off.
It's ridiculous.
It is, Neil. It's like an oven in here. It really is. It's
ridiculous.
really. I feel like the pilot in an aeroplane.
Yeah.
And he's sweating, and he's going to crash the plane. Anyway, welcome to Paralytic Activities podcast. Tonight we've got another cracking guest, Amy Cox. You see, Neil, it ain't all about getting the big names of the paranormal. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, we hear stories, and there are stories, you know, from time to time, and you hear like about Paralytic Activities podcast, and we like to have guests on who no one has really heard about. And we would like to bring them out there into the mainstream so people can actually get them on their podcast, so they can tell their story, because that's how we started at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? And you know what? Anybody who's fun and interesting, we'll bloody talk to them, and that's the way it should be. We saw it, Amy, at the Parameter 2024, and you seem fun, enthusiastic about all things spooky. So let's get ready to meet her after this little intermission. Neil, intro time, hit it.
Hey up, you little buggers. Welcome to Paralytic Activities podcast. You're a one-stop shop for all things weird and spooky and creepy and kooky. All done with an ale or two. Sit back and relax, you little buggers.
Well, if Seth tells us to relax, Neil, we need to relax.
Yes.
I can't believe I just fucked up the intro. Neil, I'm sweating that much. My glasses are steaming up. I can't see shit all. I'm reading things where I ain't even there. I feel like I'm in the multiverse of madness.
Well, you take your glasses off, John.
Because I can't see. That's why I can't see with him, and I can't see without him, so I'm screwed.
Jesus Christ.
Orange, what you been up to, kid?
You don't know what I'm up to, Johnny boy. Well,
I did, Neil, because I want to bloody ask otherwise.
John, I woke up this morning, John, just to start off.
Okay. So usually the afternoon, eh?
Absolutely pissing myself with laughter. I think I must have slept funny. Anyway, I ain't a big reader, John. I've never been a big reader, but I really should start reading books.
Yeah, I think you should. Neil.
So I went to the local library the other day, John.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe there was a food van outside. You know what I had? A shush kebab. Anyway, don't put the blame of the cricket on, John.
No, I don't get that joke at all.
Shush kebab.
Oh, a shush kebab.
Honest to God. You know, you have to explain your own jokes. It's just
that's when you know it's a bad joke.
It.
That's when you know it's a bad joke.
Anyway, John, I've been watching the Olympics.
Have
you watched any of the Olympics?
I haven't watched any, Neil, to be honest.
I've been watching the Olympics. I couldn't believe it. Craig David was helping with the archery today, John. He was the bow selector.
Was it?
Anyway, I went to a car boot the other day. I love my bargains, you know what I mean? So I went to the local,
especially home bargains.
Yeah. And, you know, I like my records, so my vinyl records.
Yeah.
I've been buying vinyl records since 1989, right? And I found an Elvis record on 12-inch, you know the one wooden leg.
That they mean would not.
No, this is the pirate version, John. Anyway, I went to the Beacon Festival now, mate.
Oh, yeah, the right laugh there, Neil.
Oh, it's superb.
Some cracking tribute acts, were there?
Oh, our Chipmunkies were superb. Probably the best ones of the night.
Yeah, there was.
Oasis, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Stone Roses, really good.
Yeah.
Bad Manners. I don't want Bad Man. It was Madness, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But they've done all Bad Manners and the specials and all that lot. You know. And who else was on, John?
I think that was it, Neil.
Was he?
That was it.
Well, Sam Fender on. We missed him, don't we?
Oh, does it really matter, Neil?
It does matter,
Don't
John.
matter. You are there, so it don't matter.
Oh, okay.
Don't matter. But you had to get drinks for tokens, and I wasn't happy with that, Neil.
No, tokens.
And the beer was shit. Carlin. Jesus Christ.
You know,
get out.
You paid £10 for 8 tokens, and it's at 5 tokens for 1 beer, so you're left with 3 tokens. So you've got to go and buy some more tokens to get another beer.
It was like, yeah, I've done the maths.
Ridiculous,
What,
John.
right now, Carol Vorderman, I can tell you
That's
that.
when they've got you there.
So now we went to the Admiral Rodney now because I've been doing some work for this pub, the Admiral Rodney, in Woolerton.
Yeah.
Good old Woolerton. And the landlord told me that there are tunnels under the pub now. And it leads to the church and to Woolerton Hall and caves. Now, the pub itself used to be a farmhouse. And it was in 1924, Lord Middleton sold the estate to the city of Nottingham. And in 1855, the Admiral Rodney was a fully licensed establishment under Mrs. S. Woodward. Now, the Admiral Rodney forms a local name cluster with the Admiral Rodney in Calverton. Now, the whole reason I'm saying this, Neil, because he was telling me about a little ghost story. Now, said I told about the caves or going to the pub. People were hearing screams and laughter coming from caves under the pub, what lead to Woolerton Hall, because Woolerton Hall only down the road.
Yeah.
And they could hear laughter and screams. But no one's allowed down there, Neil. You can't get down there, so they don't know where these noises was coming from. Do you know what I think I found out what it is, Neil?
What?
It's the Woolerton Gnomes.
Really?
I reckon it's the Woolerton Gnomes, the Laughing Gnome. David Bowie sang about him.
Really?
The Laughing Gnome, yeah. I reckon that's what it was under the pub, the Admiral Rodney. So there you bloody go. Now we need to crack on with the comments from the last episode, Neil. So, because, you know, Amy's in the green room.
I know,
She's
John.
probably really hot as well, you know what I mean? It's one of the hottest nights of the year, even though she's in the multiverse. She's in Doctor Strange's conservatory as we speak. Not the green room. Dead Cold Paranormal, Neil, Mr. Mark Boner. Now then, lads, cracking show. Claire from last week, don't scare Claire, is a lovely lady and makes brilliant content. I spent a lot of time chewing her ears off. The food wasn't that bad, was it? The food wasn't that bad. And her husband's. Jesus Christ, greedy get.
What's the Mike Tyson?
And he said, great Haunted Room 101 answers from Claire. Loved it. And the Venga bus is always better. Bear that in mind, Amy. Bear that in mind. Cherry Fizz, Neil. Love Don't Scare Claire. 3 quality Room 101 answers. Always cheer me up watching John and Neil. How about that? Claire is a lovely soul. You two guys, who's this from? I don't remember. Claire is a lovely soul. You two guys are well, something else. What does that mean, Neil? Claire is a lovely soul. Us two are something else.
I haven't got a clue.
She says, just kidding. I love you all. You always make me laugh from my belly. Love the Room 101 answers. Brilliant. Another great episode. Cheers to the spirits with the spirits. Have some of that. Now, don't scare Claire. Neil messaged me. She goes, thanks so much. She spoke like this. Thanks so much for having me on podcast. It was so lovely to chat with her both. That's exactly what she said, and that's exactly
John,
how she said
she
it.
don't sound like Jane McDonald, John.
She did.
What's the matter with you?
Neil, it's that hot in here. We're just going to bring in Amy.
No.
We're bringing her in right now. Everybody, let's welcome Amy to the podcast.
Hello, everybody.
How are you, Amy? All right?
I'm good, thank you. How are you guys?
I'm melting.
Honestly, it's ridiculous.
I feel like Samwise
hot.
Gamgee going up to Mount Doom, carrying Frodo on his back. So that's how hot I feel. So, Amy, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, bless you.
Thank you for having me, guys.
I love where you live. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it?
It is. Neil hasn't got a clue where you are, by the way. Because one, he don't watch films, and 2, he's never watched a Marvel film.
I have.
Oh, Neil.
Name one.
Marvel, I watched Spider-Man.
Okay, I'll give him that.
I watched it on the web.
So Amy, just give us a brief synopsis of what you're all about.
So, obviously, my name is Amy, and I am a paranormal investigator. I do a lot for the last 6 years. I've been doing paranormal, been involved in the paranormal, private investigations, and also I host events for an events company. So I've been to quite a few places across the UK. And yeah, I just really, I'm more of an open-minded skeptic as well. So I do believe, but I'm yet to experience anything directly. So that's why I keep doing it, because I've got a lot of friends I know who are open-minded skeptics as well, but they can say they've had some stuff happen to them that just they can't explain away and rationalize and have no actual explanation for why it happened. So I'm always interested to try and find that one thing that's going to happen. I'm going to go, oh, okay, there is something there.
Totally agree with you.
Totally agree with you. Like I say, you know, we are fence sitters. Like our guest Claire last week says she had splinters in her arsehole. Because
And not the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the rat.
No, but I think you need to be kind of a very skeptical believer, don't you? If you go into every investigation or every place you go, that you believe everything that's going to happen, I think you're never going to get anywhere, are you?
No, not at all.
But I don't think it's fun, you know what I mean, John?
What do you mean, Neil?
If you
What
believe-
do you mean? It's not
No,
fun.
if you believe everything,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It ain't gonna be fun when something else happens, then something else, you believe that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It ain't fun.
Well, if you imagine you're the kind of person who goes into an haunted like Woodchester Mansion, and you hear a bat, a bang, a tap, a creak, or this, that, and the other, or an orb, and the person thinks everything is a spirit or a ghost or an energy.
Yeah.
Well, what if an actual energy walks past a spirit? You know, you've already like done all your little tricks at you.
I know.
You know, you might even miss the actual big one.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
That's it.
definitely. I've spent a lot of time at Woodchester Mansion as well, so yeah, I'm yet to experience. I've heard footsteps. I have heard the footsteps, but there's a part of me is like, oh, is that relating to stone tape theory and just where the building's replaying and re-recording and just replaying what it's already had happen in it. But I'm yet to experience that one thing. And I spent a lot of time with Chris Howley as well, obviously, who runs the paranormal events there, and he's told me some of his experiences. But again, he spent 20 years in the place, and he can only name like 5 things on one hand that have happened to him in those 20 years that were definitely something he couldn't explain away. So it says a lot about how the paranormal can work.
Exactly.
I must say, Amy, I would love to be in Woodchester right now because it's freezing in there.
Did you do it in the winter?
Oh yeah, I've been there in the winter. I've been there, but it doesn't matter what time of year you go. It's like a walk-in freezer. And it's so funny when you see people rock up in the summer with their like shorts and flip-flops on, and you're like, you're going to be freezing because you walk in that back door and the temperature just automatically drops because it's got no furniture or heating in it. So and with the thick walls, it just retains the cold. So it would be nice today. It would be really nice today to be there.
Do you remember the flaming lighter froze?
Yeah, I know.
That's how cold it was.
I'll tell you what, I've never been to a place as cold as that.
It is pretty cold. Also, because it's down in a valley and next to the bank where it sits as well, it makes it even more damp and colder as well.
I must say, Amy, Woodchester Mansion, off the top of my head, is the only place I can actually say where I do actually feel scared.
Same. I've had that feeling. Been stood up in the attic a few times, and in the darkness, you kind of think, is it my eyes playing tricks on me? But it almost feels like there's possibly things moving, but you're not sure. And it definitely feels like something else is there. So yeah, I've definitely had that, which is probably why it's top of my list as one of my favorite places.
Well, same with Woodchester. I've been to the top, obviously, on my own as well. And again, you feel like you're not alone, especially if you're coming down the spiral staircase. You know, and you think, there's something behind me. I know. You get the heebie-jeebies. All your hairs on the back of your neck and standing on end. All the hairs on the back of Neil's back standing on end.
John, back of me back. John, I'm like already chicken.
Another red. You are in the seat now. You are like another red.
I can't stand there, John. I've got no back. No, yeah.
So you're a skeptical believer, Amy. Have you got any paranormal encounters? All the because you've sent me a list of all these places you've been to.
Yeah.
And you know the list is endless. You know what I mean? You've been to a lot of places. There's got to be some paranormal encounters that you've probably witnessed for yourself or witnessed with other people. Have you got one of your favorites you can tell us about?
Honestly, not yet. I've not. And what I have witnessed, I don't get to see because people run up to me and tell me it happened. But then I'm a bit like, did that happen? Or is it just because you think that happened? And not to discredit anybody's experiences because everybody has their own experiences. But sometimes you can sort of explain why something happened or the environment people are in and what they're feeling, they're picking up on and things like that. But I did have something recently happen to me, but it was really interesting because I didn't influence it in any way. It was people coming up to me. So I was at the Ancient Ram Inn, and I've spent probably a good total of 30 nights in total at that place in the last 6 months
Lord have
easily.
mercy.
Jesus.
Yeah, you can probably guarantee I'm there probably every Friday and Saturday, nearly every month. So I spent a lot of time there, and I'm yet to experience anything directly, but I was there on a Friday night with a co-host, and this co-host was a medium, and I'd never met them before, never seen them before. And they turned around, we were talking before the guests arrived, and they said to me, "There's a woman stood next to you." And I said, "All right." And I looked around, and she said, "Yeah, she's." As you naturally do when someone says there's someone stood next to you.
What
And
are
she
you
said,
supposed
"I
to
get,"
do?
yeah, it's like, what, like, okay, all right. And then she said,
Oh.
"I get the feeling she's from your mum's side." And I was like, "Oh, okay." She said, "She's short and plump, smiling." She said, "There's also a man stood next to her in a First World War uniform." She said, "I definitely say it's First World War uniform, and they're related in some way." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I thought that was a bit strange. The rest of the night, then we were doing the Ouija board session with guests there, and nobody knows my surname. I don't ever give my surname out. And they were doing the Ouija board, and they had the name Arthur come through, which isn't a name I know is associated with the place, but all sorts of names come out anyway. And then they went on to say that also an AKOX was spelt on the board. So I was looking at thinking AKOX, and one of them said A Cox, and I went, "Oh, hang on, but that's obviously my surname spelled with a C, not a K." So I was like, "Oh, okay, that's strange that you should say that." Later on that night, then we're doing the Estes method upstairs with the guests, and one of them walks up to me and says she could hear my voice. So I thought she meant she could hear me calling out in the room while she was under the headphones, but she said it was actually my voice she could hear coming through the headphones that was telling her what to say. So I thought, oh, this is really interesting. The following day, then we were doing the Estes again, and someone just shouted out randomly 1914. There was no question asked or anything. So I said, "Oh, does that mean anything to anyone?" "Nope, didn't mean anything to anyone." Following day, then I spoke to my mum, and I just said to her, I said, "Oh, can I just check?" Because I know she was close to my great gran. I didn't know much about her. I didn't tell her anything about what happened. I said, "My great gran," I said, "what does she look like?" So she went on. She said, "Well, she was a short, plump woman, always smiling." I said, "Okay." I said, "Did she have like her husband was in the World War or anything like that?" And she said, "No, no, no." She said, "But her husband wasn't." She said, "But her brother Arthur was in the First World War, stationed in France." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And she said, "Yeah, yeah." So she walks me over to this cabinet then and pulls out this souvenir, which is from France, and he'd sent back to my great gran. And on the back, he'd put a note saying, "Thank you. This is from a French soldier. He wanted to thank me for helping him being in service with him." It was a little note written to my great gran at the bottom. It was signed 1914 on it. So I was
Jesus.
like, so I looked at my mum and then I told her everything, and I said, "Okay, this is a bit weird, but I don't know how much of a coincidence all that was, but it was interesting that it was people telling me stuff. I didn't influence it. I didn't know any of this about my great gran, or that I had, that she had a brother called Arthur who was stationed in France or anything like that. So it was quite interesting. And it does make you wonder if the more times you spend somewhere, does something start to feed off of you or sort of link into you? Which I'm sure Chris Howley could attest to that as well, with how much time he spent at Woodchester and things. So yeah, I suppose that's the only experience I've had yet where I can go, okay, that's a bit odd, but is it just a coincidence where those things all happen to happen at once?
It's good that all that happened, and yeah, it's good that you've actually said, you're not putting it straight down to that you're speaking to a spirit from the other side. You put it down to, could it be a coincidence? Or it could be anything. But with Ouija, was it a Ouija board it was coming through on?
So they said, so first of all was the medium who said she could see my great gran, and her brother Arthur stood next to me, and obviously hadn't met this medium ever before. She didn't know anything about me. We literally met that night, and obviously I didn't know any of this about my family either. And then it was later on the Ouija board, the guests, they said they had the name Arthur coming through, and then obviously AKOX was spelled on the board, but again, AKOX, my surname spelled with a C. So it's like, and I don't on my Facebook page, I don't share anything about who I work with. So there's no way anyone could know my surname. I don't say it to anyone, give it to anyone. So yeah, it was a little bit intriguing.
I would have been flabbergasted by that. I'll be honest with you.
There's
I really would have.
a few hits there, and let's be honest. And obviously, being in the Ram as well, Anyway, talking about something interesting. I've just had a message come through on my phone, and someone has sent me a question for you.
Okay.
This is live as it's happening right now, and the question goes like this. Right, ignore me French. That's all I've got to say. Quel est ton fantôme preferé? And où est la gare?
Where is the train station? That was the second question.
So you obviously know who it's off.
I don't know. I got a good idea. Does she happen to be a she?
Well, she happens to be a she, yes. She's the
Yes.
one and only Dr. Kate Shirell, bless her cotton socks.
So who is my favourite ghost? Is that what she's asking? That was the first question.
I don't read French.
Yeah, the first. Yeah, the first question.
Yeah. Come on, John.
Well, I'm going to disappoint. I don't really have a favourite ghost because there's so many to choose from. So it'd be really hard to pinpoint one ghost that is my favourite, really. But I could say that, I guess, in terms of paranormal, Dracula's my all-time favourite. So if we're going into the paranormal realm, I'd say Dracula is definitely my favourite.
Is Dracula a ghost? I mean, I love Dracula.
He's not a ghost, no, but it's going into the paranormal realm. And I suppose he is undead as well, isn't he, really?
Yeah.
What about you? What's your favourite ghost, Neil?
Me, Casper.
Casper.
Oh, yeah, Casper, of course.
Like a friendly ghost.
Yeah. I think mine's going to have to be Claypole from Rent a Ghost.
Claypole from Rent a Ghost. Yeah, so.
Yes, so you've mentioned that you've been to Woodchester Mansion. I'm just trying to think of the ones you've been to that we've been to. You mentioned you've been quite a few times to the Ram, like you said.
Yes.
You've been to the Ram more times than I've been to work.
It's quite a lot of times.
And the Jamaica Inn. What's your thoughts on the Jamaica Inn? So I've been 3 times. And to be fair, not much has ever happened. Probably because I'm at the bar. I don't know.
So I only got to go once, and it was recently. It was actually back in May, and I got to go with obviously the lovely Corinne, Craig, the whole Paranormal Jamaica team, and also Kev Kerr came along as well. So we had a great night. Throughout the night, it felt actually quite nice and calm, to be honest with you. But it wasn't until we went up to there's an attic space you can go up to. I'm not sure if you guys got to go up into that space. You sort of have to go down some corridors and up some stairways to get to it. And it was up there. I was with one friend, and we had Craig with us. And there was definitely, we all said that throughout the whole night we'd felt quite calm and chilled. But in that attic, there was definitely a strange feeling. It didn't have the same feeling as the rest of the building did.
Yeah.
So that was probably the one place I'd say, funny enough, an attic, that it felt a bit weird and strange. And we heard a few things like noises, taps, but we're not sure where they were coming from. But it was definitely a different atmosphere up there compared to the rest of the building. But it's a fascinating place that goes on forever. You walk in there and it's just massive.
I mean, I love it. I mean, I went to Halloween the first time, and there was mist coming across the cobbled courtyard.
Oh, yeah.
There was pumpkins aglow outside, Neil, and the ale was flowing. It was bloody fantastic. I stopped up till 3 a.m, looking out the window, hoping to hear the wheels of the carriage, the ghost carriage, what people have heard. I never did, but I was arsehole, so.
Oh, I bet that looks incredible as well, because it's such a picturesque place as well to have a location.
And they do fantastic gammon and pineapple as well now. In the restaurant, yes.
I had that for dinner. It was really nice.
Little tip for anybody listening right now: if you go to any restaurant and gammon is on the menu and you don't mind a bit of spicy pork, I mean salty pork, not spicy pork, you can't go wrong with gammon because every chef can cook a gammon. Do you know what I mean? You can't go wrong, Neil. Bit of pineapple and egg, jobs are good. And little tip for you all.
Did you have a photo in the stocks outside? Everybody.
Yes. Yeah, you have to, don't you? Yeah.
So brilliant. So we're just going to have a little interlude now, Amy. So you can kick back, chill out for 2 minutes because we're going to bring in our little friend. Well, not little. He's not little, but he's our friend anyway. It's
got to show us this, John.
I don't know, but I've got to try and I'm going to bring him in. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to share the screen. Here we go. Here we go. I want that. Right, so get rid of that. Bosh, yeah. So, Neil,
Well,
here we go. So, our good friend, Luke the Riddler Walker, is our cryptid expert, Amy. And he's got a little cryptid for us. It's called I think it's called the Cadbriosaurus.
made of chocolate, John.
Bear with me. So there's the Riddler there with all his cryptids, Neil.
Huh?
So here we go. Take it away, Riddler.
All right, me mons. Welcome back to the Cryptid Factor. Get your armbands on, and your trunks, and your rubber ring if you feel a bit fruity, because we're off to the Pacific coast of North America to meet the Cadbrosaurus. I got a bit excited. I thought it was the Cadbriosaurus, retired chocolate monster, and I'm disgruntled to say the least. I was expecting like a giant Freddo knocking about and on the Pacific coast, but it ain't. So anyway, Cadbrosaurus is said by witnesses to resemble a serpent with vertical coils or humps in tandem behind the horse-like head and long neck, with a small pair of elevating front flippers and either a pair of hind flippers or a large pair of webbed hind flippers fused to form a large fan-like tail region. Now, in 1930, on the 10th of November, Glacier Island near Valdez, a skeleton was found in some ice, and the skeleton was 24 foot long, 7.3 metres, with flippers. Some of the remains was preserved in Cordova for scientific study, and the creature is thought to be a whale. And then in 1941, a carcass called Sarah the Sea Hag. Why did they have to do all Sarahs dirty like that? That was found on Kitsilano Beach. And Ian McTaggart Cohen identified it as a shark. So, for me, the Cadbrosaurus is a load of old cad's wallop. I am convinced, because looking through them either seal carcasses or them whale carcasses, or it's a shark, or do you know what I mean? Somebody's just pissing about here, I think. But what do y'all think? Let us know. Ta-da, me muns.
So what do you think of the older Cadbriosaurus, the giant Freddo cryptid?
Really disappointed that it's not a giant Freddo, to be honest with you.
Imagine the price
Really
of it, though.
disappointed.
Imagine the price of it.
Jesus Christ.
So Neil is a chocoholic.
John, I don't know chocolates.
Neil, a man after my own heart. I'm a chocoholic as well.
If he saw a giant Freddo swimming through the Pacific Ocean, it'd be like Tarzan, wouldn't he?
Tell you, with my mouth open. I love chocolate. I can't help it.
All right, Willy Wonka. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so Luke, thanks, Luke. That is our cryptid expert, Amy, and hopefully next week he will bring us another cryptid, Neil. He might bring us another cryptid. Amy, are you ready for some Amy's question time?
I'm ready.
Let's get it on.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Question 1, Amy. You have been summoned. A bad entity wants to possess you, and the only way for you to prevent this is to play your favourite piece of music to take you to your happy place. What are you playing now? Me personally, my music, which always prevents the demon from possessing me, is Concerning Hobbits by Howard Shaw. Neil's is Shut Up Your Face by Joel Dolch. Amy, what are you playing?
It would be the Buffy vampire theme.
Oh, good call. Good call. You only
That would
mentioned
be-
buffet and Neil's belly rumbled. That's a very good choice. Very good choice. Neil, I can't believe Shut Up Your Face by Joel Dolch.
Really? Who told you that load of bollocks?
Did you like the series or the film? Which was better?
The series was definitely better.
Yeah.
The film was very corny, very tongue-in-cheek, but obviously it started off the series then, so have to thank the film for the series coming into play. but yeah, massive Buffy fan.
Amy, there's a link here, isn't there? You love your vampires.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
We should have had her on when we'd done the Dracula episode 2 weeks ago. Pass me wine, Neil. Pass me wine.
Wine, you know, we have to put a steak next.
I've been drinking this for a week and a half.
Oh wow.
Okay,
Is it nice?
Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
It is nice.
I was hoping it was going to be like the wine at the Lost Boys, and I was going to start flying to work. But no, I still have to drive, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a shame.
Amy's question time. Question 2, Neil. You are on a Ouija board, and you are connecting with a dead celebrity, a celebrity who has passed, of your choice. Who would you like to contact, and what would you ask?
Oh, this is a question. Oh, it's a tricky question, this one.
We're on the spot now, John.
I know, yeah.
I know, yeah. And there's so many to choose from. Trying to think of one because I'm not a massive celebrity person, if I'm honest.
The first one always comes to your head is always the right one.
Well, that's the thing. There aren't many coming to my head right now, actually, to be honest with you.
Going well, Neil. It is.
Oh
No,
God. Which celebrity would I contact if? Oh.
You've only got an hour, Amy.
I'm trying to think. Can we come back to that question?
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, of course.
Can we come back to that question?
Yes.
Pass for now.
Question 3. Amy, do you have any skeletons in your closet? Now, what I mean by that, a skill, a talent, or anything that not many people know about.
So, am I allowed to say 2?
You can say as many as you want. You never said one for the last one.
We'll make up for it then. So, I'm a black belt in kickboxing.
Oh my God!
Which many people don't know,
That's
and
fantastic.
obviously only people that are close to me. And I also speak French, which is why Kate messaged in with French
All coming
questions.
together now, Neil.
I'll get you.
I moved to France when I was 14 and spent 5 years over there. So went to school and everything over there.
Fantastic. So really, when you go to some of these paranormal conventions and people piss you off, you can give them an old karate chop to the old lugos.
I mean, when I was younger, I used to do karate.
Here we go.
I used to karate, but it was like from 11 o'clock till midnight, which is a stupid time. You know what I mean?
That's a really weird time.
I know. I used to call it late night chopping.
Where's she gone?
Oh, that's awful. That's so bad. Oh, I'm going to remember that one.
Write that down. She's at Black Belt in karate. The drinks are on us next time we meet you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the drinks are on us.
You remember washing it to the side of your head?
Yeah. Amy, question 4. Amy, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but you are now on the other side. And I don't mean ITV3. Now, me and Orange, we want to resurrect you, but we need 3 items to complete this. What 3 items will we need to bring you back from the other side?
So, Galaxy chocolate. Definitely.
God.
That's 1.
Yeah, Galaxy chocolate. My dog, Bruce.
2, yes, definitely.
And then it would have to be something Buffy related, like maybe a Buffy DVD or something, or a Buffy song.
The Buffy box set, Neil. Write it all down.
Yeah, Buffy box set.
We may need it one day. We may need it. You know what I mean? Mine would be Blue Moon, Chicken Wings, and the Lord of the Rings box set. That's what mine.
Very good choices. Very good choices.
And maybe my daughter and my wife. I don't.
Throw them in there as well.
Given, very given. Yeah. What about you, Neil? What would be the 3 things that resurrect you
and resurrect me? A good old rave tape.
Here we go.
From 1991.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to the Future DVD.
Good call.
I love Back to the Future. And Got to be chocolate wise. I love chocolates. Do you prefer Cadbury's or do you prefer
Galaxy. It's got to be
Galaxies?
Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It just tastes smoother than Cadbury's. So yeah.
I went to Cadbury World once. I felt like Augustus Gloop in there, John.
Neil, you did get kicked out. Is the only person to get kicked out of Cadbury World?
Seriously.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, Neil. Right, do you remember?
I don't remember that one.
You was like a dog on eat. Really
You should
was.
go to Bruges. It's like the chocolate capital of Belgium. It's amazing over there.
Oh, Belgian chocolate's beautiful.
They've got massive displays of chocolate things. It's incredible in all the windows. It's just it's amazing over there. The amount of things they have chocolate wise. It's
Neil,
definitely recommend it.
Neil, do you know you just mentioned that you wanted the Back to the Future box set?
Yeah.
Well, I watched another Back to the Future film yesterday.
Mhm.
And it's when Marty and Doc go back to the 50s or the 60s, and they have to confront Hitler.
Really?
Yeah, it was called Back to the Fuhrer.
Back to the Future.
What? Amy, question 5. You can investigate any location. Now, money's no object, and you can go anywhere on the planet, but you can take one person. Who are you taking, and where the bloody hell are you going?
So I'd probably take the lovely Kate Sherrill,
Good choice.
and I'd be probably going to Eloise Asylum in Detroit.
Ooh.
It's not a well-known asylum, but it was bought. The person who owns it bought it for $1. And it's an entire asylum. Yeah, $1, $1. And I think the plan was he wanted to change it and obviously build on it, but he's not been able to because there's been so many issues with it. There's like many graves outside the property where they just buried people. So there are no gravestones, but they just buried them around the property. There were children that passed away from many different things in there, obviously due to different types of water therapy and things like that went wrong, where they drowned. There's very many horror stories there of what went, because obviously mental asylums, you can imagine back then. And they did an investigation there, and it was on Expedition X, and it was very interesting, some of the stuff they had happen. So it's definitely somewhere I'd like to go and explore. And I think as well, because it's not a well-known one as well, that not many people know about, it would just be really cool to investigate it.
Actually, I've never heard of that one. So Neil, write that down, will you?
I got a penny. Took it off. Yeah. Bought it for $1.
Yeah, $1. Yeah, he bought it for
$1.
$1. Yeah,
That's unbelievable.
It's crazy, isn't it?
The bloke who sold it must have been mental as well.
Amy, interlude number 2. Now, Neil, to my right here, orange peel Neil, orange. We do a little section called Orange Spills the Juice. Neil, that is why I have to take things off him, because he's got ADHD. We do a little section called Orange Spills the Juice, Amy. And this one is called the swimming baths incident. Now, Neil, who everybody knows him, he's the most unluckiest and clumsiest person on the planet. He's so unlucky that, this is a true story, he got knocked over by a parked car.
How how did that happen?
Amy, he's so clumsy, he makes Humpty Dumpty look like a gymnast. Neil, this is your time to shine. Orange Spills the Juice, the swimming bath incident.
John, this is not a time to shine, because this was very embarrassing, right? And at this day and age, I don't like telling this story. Reason being, it was like, it got to have been about 18 years ago. We took my daughter to like a child swim. So unprofessionally, when it's time to shine, it's unbelievable. Anyway, we took my daughter to a child swim, and when they give me locker key, my locker wouldn't close, and I'm like, shit. So I put my shorts on and what have you, and got my daughter and my ex-wife, I don't like to mention her, my ex-wife, and well, because we put all my phone in the locker and everything in the locker, but it wouldn't shut. So I thought I'd keep an eye on it, like, you know. So we're in the swimming bath. It's only about 2 foot deep. It's only kids swimming bath. And my daughter's swimming. I'm doing a bit of backstroke and all that, like, you know.
Oh,
doing a bit of backstroke and that. Anyway, it's getting more packed. there's more families coming in. It's like a family swim. And I better go and check my locker, like, you know. So climbed out the water, and the guard who was on the big stool started pointing at me. Then another lifeguard run around the pool, and they was talking, pointing at me, and I'm standing there going, "What have I done wrong?" And I've looked at my daughter. She went, "Dad, get back in the pool. I can see
Oh
a grub.
no!
I can see a
Oh
grub."
no!
Yeah. Right. So I'm standing there going, "What? I've got put these shorts on, and I'd had years, and there's like tracing paper. So when water went on, and there's nothing on, right? And I've been doing backstroke and everything. I didn't even realise, right? So it looked like I was just got nothing on, basically.
Oh,
So
no.
the manager come out, and all the families are pulling the kids away from me like I was some kind of pervert, right? And I was there in the pool by myself, and the manager come out. He goes, "You gotta get out." I felt like Jimmy Savile, I did. And I had to go and get a towel, get changed, and they threw me out the swimming baths.
Oh my god! Oh, that's so
It was
funny.
harmless. I mean, I don't mean nothing by it. I don't realise.
Neil, why would you go in a swimming pool with no lining in your trunks because they'd perished?
Just, you know what I'm like, John? I was thinking, I don't know.
Sorry, how old were these trunks? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know, Summer. I'm sure there was from. I don't know where I got it from. I think I found them in that locker. No. There was like pretty old trunks, like, you know. And
Jesus
I never
Christ.
thought enough. I don't know, John. It was embarrassing. It was terrible. I felt horrible.
How I'm really intrigued to know how we got hit by a parked car as well.
He made that up.
You may-
Yeah, I just make all these stupid gags up because he is the most unluckiest, clumsiest person on the planet, Amy. Believe you me. Before you came out at the old the paranormal meeting, and he'd already knocked a pint over, all over Jack, and he's constantly doing it all the time.
Well, I've got that many stories from over the years, and my daughters, we're going to end up writing a book. Like,
I was going to say, it sounds like you might need to write a book.
I'll tell you some stories you will not believe, honestly.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Next time we catch up for a drink around the table.
Wow.
Yeah,
we'll take-
definitely. I'm definitely coming to find you at the next para meet.
So, Amy, are you ready for your Haunted Room 101?
I am.
So, Room 101, Neil, as we all know, Amy knows, that you can banish 3 items into the Haunted Room 101. Now, this is 3 items, Amy, from anything to do with the paranormal, equipment, movies, places, people, anything you bloody like can go into Room 101 and banish forever. Neil, get your hand on the lever. So, what's your first item?
It would be the SLS
Yes.
thing. I'm sorry.
Stickman.
Honestly, if one more person comes up and says, "Oh, I've got the SLS," I'll throw it at them because it's not been scientifically proven that it does anything. It picks up everything and anything. I mean, it's derived from like a basically an Xbox, PlayStation thing that someone just one day sat in their living room and something appeared and they went, "Oh my god, it's picking up something paranormal." It's just, I'm sorry, it's just ridiculous.
I totally agree. It needs to go straight into Room 101, but also what needs to go into Haunted Room 101 is the SLS, what people are using on the bloody phone.
Yes, that can go with it. I put that in the same category, the two together, because it's just when they get it out as well, it's got the bright light on it, because the actual SLS doesn't have because obviously it's all incorporated, but on their phones, their lights go bright and they're blinding people in the dark with it, and they have no clue how they're using it. You can see they don't have a clue, and it's it can all go in there together.
SLS, John. We've done a song about that, haven't we?
We did, yeah.
We had a top 10 paranormal song, top 10 chart, we did, about paranormal.
Yeah. We're going to have to start doing it again now because
you.
it was all on the live. We've never done it on the new podcast.
What was it, John? Can you see the stick man? Can you see him? SLS.
That's awesome. That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching. Well,
You know,
do you know when you scroll through Bookface and you see all these teams pop up doing lives and what have you, and I never watch any of them, but someone was doing a live, a group of them. I think there's about 2,000 people watching them, and they had a ghost tube app on with the stick man on the phone pointing at a wall. And I thought, and people are still on the phone going, "Oh wow, there's a ghost over there. It's napping." I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Mm.
Lord, just put me in the ground now and bury me and forget about me. I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
absolutely done. So that one's in. Another one, please, Amy.
It would have to be the whole, oh, I've caught an orb on my camera, or I've caught an orb in my photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have to be. And
There
the
was one
second,
then when you just batted that away.
yeah.
it was coming. I was like, "What? Get away!" It happened at the right moment.
That was a crappy shot. That was.
It was a fly. I was like, "Get away!" Yeah, no, definitely. If I had a pound for every time someone runs up to me and goes, "Oh, I've got something. Look at this," and it's where they're sitting down on a chair, and obviously the dust comes out of the chair or something like that, and you can see they genuinely believe it, which is. I get it, but it's not. Obviously, it's not. It's just dust, or it's
Yeah.
it's an insect. It's just I have to sometimes really bite my tongue to not go off on a sort of like, it's not been scientifically and there's nothing scientific about it. It's not an actual orb. You're just picking up on dust. If it's caught with the camera, it's not paranormal. But yeah, so yeah, that can go in there.
To be fair, Amy, I think I'd like to be with you on one of your investigations because one, you're chucking things at people, you're biting things, and you're karate chopping orbs. It sounds fantastic.
Where was that one in the chart, John?
Which one?
Orbs upside your ears, upside your ears. Remember that?
I'm gonna have to listen to this chart. Seriously, you're gonna have to tell me where I can find it.
I'm gonna do a video. Make a video, a music video. Do you remember when you used to have like Now 33 and you have the art thing in the song for about a second or two? We're gonna do, and I'm gonna film Neil doing the countdown. So it's so one more, please, Amy. Thank you very much.
What would be the last one? I think the last one would be those awful chat box app things that people get out on their phone, like is it Necro something they have on their phones, and I can't even remember the name, and they just sound absolutely awful. And they're not really, let's be honest, they're not picking up, and they all come out with the same thing as well, like demon, Satan, demonic, leave. And you sit there and think, oh, isn't that a coincidence that we're sat in a haunted location and it's spouting out all these negative words? So yeah, and obviously with the technology we have today in our phones, what's to say that that it's not picking up what we're saying and we're calling out and then just relaying? There's no, so yeah, that would probably be my third one to go in there.
Yeah, I reckon we should put it in because we used to use the necrophonic, not the necro talker. The new one is absolutely pathetic, but we did used to use the, and here's a last minute thing just for video purposes for YouTube. And we haven't used it for about a year and a half, have we now, Neil? Because we realise, it is a load of shite.
Yeah. It is great for entertainment, but it's not. There's nothing scientific behind it, or it's not actually. I don't believe it's a spirit coming through saying, "Yeah, Satan."
Yeah, I do believe that it's actually listening to you.
And I do.
Reverbing what it's heard. Me personally, but yeah, definitely. In you go. Well done, Amy. That was your haunted room, a 101. And we're just going to go straight on to your Quickfire 10.
Okay.
This is the one where everybody loves Neil, and they're all like, oh, what's he going to ask us?
Well,
so here we go. Amy, are you ready for your Quickfire 10? Do you know we've nearly done 50 minutes already? It's just gone.
Oh, wow. It's gone so fast.
Like that. Amy, are you ready for your Quickfire 10? Here we go, Neil. Are you ready, Neil? Amy, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Here we go. Number 1. Are Ouija boards real or just a toy?
Just a toy.
Are phone ghost apps just a load of shite?
A load of shite.
Is there a spirit world?
I believe so, yes.
Do you believe in the stone tape theory?
Yes.
Should cat balls remain at pets at home?
Yes.
Are there beings on another planet?
I believe so, yes.
What is better, a haunted pub or a haunted hospital?
Haunted hospital.
Is the Venga bus better than a sucker bus?
Yes.
No one has ever said anything different, have they,
No.
Neil? The Venga
No.
bus wins hands down every single time.
Yeah,
Number
definitely.
9. Is Help My House is Haunted more fake than most haunted?
Oh, I haven't watched either, so I can't comment which is more fake.
Just put a cross through that one, Neil.
Yeah.
And for your last one, for your Quickfire 10, are spirits, ghosts, spectres real?
No.
Oh! Controversy right at the last minute.
Like to throw a little one in there at the end.
So this begs the question: why do you go to all these haunted places if there's no spirit world and ghosts are not real?
I said yes to the spirit world. I said yes to the spirit
did you?
world.
Okay.
Yes, I did say yes to the spirit world. Yeah.
Yes, get your facts right, John.
All right. I must say, I do also believe in the stone tape theory that, you know, with the recording thing, I do think that it's something playing itself back majority of the time.
So I do also believe in the whole like universes crossing as well, and timelines crossing, sort of quantum physics and going into that sort of realm of things. So
The multiverse.
that's why. Yes, exactly, the multiverse.
And this is why she's in Doctor Strange's house. I hope he's not in.
No, he's popped out for a minute.
So, Amy, that concludes your Quickfire 10. Now, obviously, we've got a couple of minutes left, and we can quickly go through it. Do you like a milkshake?
No, I don't.
Oh, what do you like? Neil, go and get us something else. What's your fancy? Say if you have a slushie.
Oh, I'd have a Tango Blast, please.
Yeah, Tango Blast.
Tango Blast.
I like a good blast.
Okay. Now the pair of you, get your choppers around this. So a little Dicky Bird tells me that some of your favourite films are Paranormal Activity and the Conjuring films. And I just want you to kind of, especially with the Conjuring, especially Conjuring 2, what is your theory on the Enfield haunting?
So I actually read Guy Playfair's book that he wrote about it. And I think it is, because I read the whole book, and actually, quite frankly, it gets quite boring through the book because it just is the same stuff, and it gets to a point where it's like there's nothing actually really. It's not a horror story or a scary story really. It's just kind of relaying the same things happening. I do think there was something happening there, but I do reckon it was to do with emotions and possibly they were creating it possibly themselves with the emotions, what was going on in the family, what was going on in the house, the children, obviously the age they were as well. And that's kind of why I like the Conjuring films, because they're based on actual things that happened. Obviously the film have been dramatized for the film industry, but it's still based on the true stories that actually there's some evidence behind it and these stories actually happened. But Ed and Lorraine didn't actually go to the Enfield house ever, so it's quite interesting that they, in the film they depicted that, but they never actually attended the house. But yeah, that's why I like them.
Do you remember the Enfield haunting, Neil?
Yeah, when Ed and Lorraine Warren went there.
No, they didn't go. They did in the film.
In the film they did, but they didn't actually go there in person.
And Janet was basically a ventriloquist.
Never.
Throw it. Yeah, no, we've done a whole show on it, Neil. Remember? I mean, I don't like to be horrible or disrespectful, but when you've got teeth that big, you can easily hide your voice or throw it somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
That's what it was.
She could get gherkins out of a jar with them. Quickly going on to Paranormal Activity. Now, Paranormal Activity, I've got a couple of facts for you.
Oh, go on.
So, Paranormal Activity, there's a story going about that Steven Spielberg thought that the DVD of the film, what he had, was haunted.
Oh, really?
Because apparently, the first time he put it on, his door closed on his own, and he said he'd never going to watch it again or put that DVD in because he said it was haunted.
Seriously?
Yes, Neil.
Seriously?
I don't make this stuff up, Neil. I don't. Now, also, Paranormal Activity is number 2 best grossing film ever. Well, I'll say grossing, best profitable film ever, Neil. You wouldn't guess it, would you? Because it's not really that good, is it? Really, let's be honest. It's original, and it is quite scary when you first watch it. But
that's the thing. It did, out of all the horror films and scary films I watched, it's probably the only one that actually scared me. Because I was, at the time I watched it, I was on my own house sitting in someone's house as well, which probably wasn't the best idea to do that. But yeah, it was. I think it's because it's psychological, isn't it? It's the whole, you can't see what's happening, and it's something's coming up the staircase, is something, what's going to happen, and it was probably the only film. That's why I chose it, because it's the only film that's actually scared me and made me scared.
I think it's one of them films. It's like me and the wife watched Paranormal Entity, which came out a couple of months after, and that was based around a bedroom in a house. And because we was watching it in bed, the wife said she'll never watch it ever again because it scared her that much. And I think Paranormal Activity at the time, because it was set around a bedroom, and basically nothing went on for half an hour, and then a little bit happened. A little bit more, and at the end, there wasn't even going to add the special effects in at the end, was they?
No,
they just added that on.
There's several alternative endings, though, isn't there, with it as well? I think, isn't there?
Yeah, that's what I've heard anyway. But have you ever watched it, Neil? Paranormal Activity?
I don't think I have.
Neil, our name is based off that Paranormal Paralytic Activities.
Tell me I've got to watch it, John.
Now, Amy, we do a little section in the flip the screen section called Guess the Horror Shit Title. Now, I'm going to give you and Neil a name of a horror film, and you've got to tell me what it's about.
Okay.
And the film in question today, it's called Rubber. Amy, what's it about?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Is it about a rubber that's haunted?
Depends what rubber you're on about.
I was going for the eraser version of a rubber.
Of course, Amy.
I'll just clarify that before we go any further.
Rubber.
Yeah.
Is it about, I don't know, John, about an haunted condom?
Everyone was thinking it, let's be honest. Might as well put it out there. You're both wrong. Basically, Rubber is about a homicidal car tyre.
Seriously?
Oh, you're kidding me.
It's got destructive power and it sets its sights on a desert town once a mysterious woman becomes its obsession. So basically, the tyre gets obsessed with a woman and he bounces through the town, killing everybody in the process.
Oh my God. Oh, someone actually made that.
You know,
apparently, it's a classic.
It reminds me of.
Well,
remember when we used to getting toys when we were kids and we got round down the hill?
Yeah.
Them were the good years, them was.
No, you got to tread quite carefully with them kind of jokes. You know what I mean? Amy, we're done. It's been an absolute bloody pleasure. Is there anything you want to promote while you're here?
No, thank you. I've got nothing to promote. But thank you though for having me. I've got nothing to promote.
I love that answer, Amy. Just, straight down the line. Love it. So, Amy, if you just sit in the green room, we're just going to wrap up. We'll have a little chat with you after.
Great. Thank you, guys.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Amy.
It has. Bless you.
Thank you.
So there you go, Neil. Another bloody fantastic guest.
Absolutely fantastic. John, I don't care what anybody says. The guests we're having on are absolutely fantastic.
They are. And I'm sorry that I've messed up a couple of times, but I'm that hot that my glasses are steamed up, Neil. I feel like I'm in a steam room.
One have disappeared, John.
I'm glad you're not sat there in a towel, to be honest.
Why?
Because that's what you dress in a steam room with, wouldn't you know what I mean?
I've got nothing on with it.
And on that bombshell right there, people. Now, this goes out to all your horror junkies, you cryptid stalkers, you alien twitchers, and you ghost catchers. Now, if you are out investigating this weekend and you don't get any spirits, just do what we do. Now, what do?
We drink them instead.
We drink them instead.
I have done.
Now, we've got another guest next week, so be ready for it because we got Kev Kerr coming on next week. So look out for that one. We'll see you next bloody week.
Bless you.